number 30, Brian Dugan. And the tailback is number 33, Cleo Shoes. Number 30 is Brian Dugan. Number 75, Aaron Westfall. And number 66, Matt Pollock. I'd like to say a special thank you tonight for the good job that the chain crew does at all the Nashville home games. Chain crew includes Fred Henry, John Egger, Willie Smith, and Steve Spiker. A special thank you to them. The officials for tonight's game, Jeff Harvey, Carl Bright, David Beach, Stan Brown, and Scott Wallace.
Once again from Scrapper Stadium in Nashville as we get set for this Class AA second round action in playoffs between the Nashville Scrappers and the Gravette Lions. We just had the coin toss a moment ago. I'll give you the result of that right after we give you the captains. For Gravette, number 60, John Holloway, and number 61, David Shields. Tri-captains tonight for the Nashville Scrappers, number 30, Brian Dugan, number 66, Matt Tollett, and number 75, Aaron Westfall. The Nashville Scrappers won the coin toss. They elected to receive, and they will be receiving on the south end. That'll be to our left here at Scrapper Stadium. Both ball clubs dressed out in orange and black tonight. Scrappers wearing the white pants with the black jerseys with the orange numerals. And for Gravette, they come in wearing the black pants, white jerseys with the orange numerals. And right now, as Gravette comes out, getting set to kick the ball off and get this game underway, let's turn Mike's side to Charles Hubbard for tonight's play-by-play.
All right, the Gravette Lions will be kicking off from north to south. And kicking off for the Gravette Lions will be number 83 is Ryan Allman. And has the ball on the tee. We're just about ready to get this second round playoff game underway here in AA in Nashville, Arkansas. And here's the approach to the ball. And there is the kick. It will be taken by Paul Wayne Ray at the 15 to the 20, 25. Cuts outside at the 30. Breaks the tackle and goes to the 35-yard line. Tackle made by number 2, John Reed. So the Scrappers will start at the Nashville 35-yard line. And you just get ready because the Scrappers probably even on first down will be throwing the football. That's their favorite thing to do.
Well, they finally got back in sync with everything, Charles, last couple of weeks. They like to score early, and that's one thing Gravette has got to try to prevent. Watch for something big to happen early.
Dugan will be the lone setback. Ball on the right hash mark. Reed will be in the slot on the left side, which is the wide side of the field, and Washington will be the split end. McBride with a straight drop, looks to his right. Going to be thrown for a loss back at the 25-yard line. And coming in to make the stop will be number 34, Jake Holt, along with number 75, David Gibson.
Loss of about 9 on that play. They may spot it back at the 25, so that's about a 10-yard loss on that play. Charles, that time the Gravette defense kind of set back, and then all of a sudden they came in with a late rush after McBride had set up in the pocket, and pretty good quickness on that defense as they got in there for McBride to give him a loss.
26-yard line is the spot right in the middle of the field for the Scrapper. Split back set, slot to the left side. McBride again. Drops, wants to throw, passes it downfield. Complete to Washington at the first down marker. It'll be a first down for the Scrappers just across the Scrapper 45-yard line. Scott Boofer on the tackle for the Gravette Lions. And checking into the backfield for the Scrappers will be number 22, Robert Witherspoon. Checking out will be number 3, Derek Reed. And the Scrappers may go with a 3-back set now. They go into a T formation, a split T formation. Ball on the left hash mark. First and 10 Scrappers from the Scrapper 45. Handoff. That'll be Cleota Shoes, 50. Outside or inside, rather, the Lion territory, and mark it at about the 47-yard line. Holloway on the stop for the Gravette Lions. And that's a little bit different look. The Scrappers have run that a few times this year, and they'll show multiple formations.
And pick up for Cleota Shoes as we move into the Gravette Lion territory.
Ball just inside the right hash mark, still in the split T formation. And Washington wide to the left side. McBride, toss sweep, it'll go to Witherspoon. He'll get outside, and he's going to be pinned in. No gain on the play. Very good defensive play by the defensive end over there, the linebacker, Aaron Marufo. And that will be that'll be a third down situation now for the Scrappers with the ball now on the left hash mark. Scrappers moving south to north.
Looks like the Gravette defense is really bowled up here. You know, the Scrappers started off with a first down a moment ago, moved into the Gravette territory, and here the Gravette defense is bowled up.
All right, third and about 3. Scrappers have to get just across the line 45 to pick up a first down. Still is a T formation. Lions jump off sides. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Gravette Lions. And we'll move the ball now to about the 42 or 43-yard line it will be. So the Scrappers have a first down by way of penalty. First penalty of the night. Ball is still on the left hash mark. First series by either team. And Washington will check to the near side of the field with the ball on the left hash mark. Still that split T formation for the Scrappers. It'll be McBride on the roll to his right. Heavy pressure, wants to throw. Passes it downfield and in and out of the hands of Washington. He had room, but went right through his hands. He won't do that very many times. It'll bring up second down and 10 now. Marufo on the coverage for the Gravette Lions. That'll stop the clock on that incomplete pass. 9 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the first period. Witherspoon checks out, and Reed checks back in for the Scrappers. Ball in Lion territory, just outside the 42-yard line. Ball, as I said, was on the left hash mark, and Washington and Reed now will check to the wide side. That's the right side of the field. Split backs for the Scrappers. McBride, quick pass. It goes to Washington. He'll try to cut back upfield, and they were smelling that one out all of the way. No gain on the play. A good job on the defense by Adam Vore. And that will bring up third down in about 10 now for the Scrappers. And ball, as I said a moment ago, at the 43 of the Gravette Lions. Washington will check wide to the right side. The slot will be to the right. That'll be Reed. Ball right in the middle of the field. Split backs. That'll be Hughes and Dugan, the split backs. McBride wants to throw. Passes it across the middle, complete to Hughes. He's on the loose. 25-20. Cuts back at the 20, 15, 10, 5. And Hughes goes in for the score with 8 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first period. The Scrappers are on the board.
43-yard touchdown pass. They thought they had it covered right over the middle to Cleotis Hughes. Looked like good coverage by Gravette. One man overplayed it, though. And then once Cleotis caught the ball, he made a couple of good moves and in for the score.
We got a 7-play drive that time of 65 yards. And checking in to attempt the extra point will be Mark Staley. McGill to hold. There's a snap. The placement's down. The kick is up. Looks good. And it is. And the Scrappers now lead 7-0 over the Gravette Lions. 8 minutes, 37 seconds left here in the first period. We'll be back with the Scrapper kickoff in just a moment. You're listening to AA Playoff Football. Offensive possession from their own 31-yard line. And that comes with 8 minutes and 29 seconds now left here in the first period. Lions will come out in their wishbone formation with a wide receiver to the left side and split into the right side. Handoff, second man through, Adam Vore. And he will pick up about a yard on the carry. And let me see if I make sure I get my numbers right there. That was Aaron Westfall on the tackle for the Scrappers. And that was, Sean Jones on the carry. All right, I'll get it right here in a minute. Okay, Sean Jones picks up about 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8. We'll mark it the 34-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field for the Gravette Lions. Wishbone formation. Split into the left side. Quarterback wants a quick toss across the middle. It's going to be complete. And out to the 46-yard line. And that's going to be to number 80, Scott Boofer. And the tackle made by number 41, Paul Wayne Ray.
Scrapper defense had really stacked in there tight, Charles, on the line, and they just dropped that pass right across the middle there, a quick hitter.
Good pass by McKenzie that time to pick up the first down at the line 46. Ball is just inside the right hash mark. Split into the right side and also to the left side. Wishbone again for McKenzie. Wants to hand off to the fullback. And there's a big stack there, and he'll get it to about the 49-yard line. That was J.R. Morgan on the carry. And coming up to make the stop will be Leslie Hendricks along with Mark McGill. It'll be about a 3-yard pickup, 2nd down and 7. The Scrapper secondary really crowding the line of scrimmage, so those little quick hitters across the middle like McKenzie threw a moment ago might be good. Ball right in the middle of the field for the Gravette Lions, split into the left side, wishbone again. McKenzie down under, hands off, second man through, and that is going to be, I believe, on the carry Vore, and he will pick up across the midfield stripe to about the 49. And coming up to make the stop will be Timothy Beal for the Scrappers. This will be the first 3rd down play of the evening for the Gravette Lions. And for the first time, they're on their first drive in Scrapper territory, just inside the Scrapper 49-yard line. Big 3rd down play here for the Gravette Lions. Wishbone, double tight ends now for the Gravette Lions. And they're going to hand it off to, no, it's going to be the option, and Vore on the carry, and he'll pick up the first down, still on his feet at the Scrapper 35 now. Excellent run that time by Adam Vore.
Pickup of about 14 yards on the carry, Charles, and it will be a 1st down as they move down to the Scrapper 35.
And it is, as you said, a 1st down. It's actually just inside the 35. We'll call it the 34.
Just a moment ago, we were kind of impressed with the first series for the defense for Gravette. Their offense is doing a good job moving the ball.
Ball is on the right hash mark for the Lions. Moving the ball here on their first series. Wishbone again, double tights again, second hand man through. That's going to be Adam Vore once again on the carry, and he'll move it to about the 31-yard line. About a 4-yard pickup for Adam Vore. Looks like Clint Reed along with Timothy Beal came up to make the stop. Also Leslie Hendricks and Latree Richards and Jamie Irby also in on the play for the Scrappers. We get the whole defensive team in there, I guess. But it's just shy of the 31, so it's going to be 2nd and a long 6 now for the Gravette Lions with the ball on the right hash mark. Wishbone once again split into the left side. Handoff. Right up the middle, fighting for yardage, and that's going to be the fullback Morgan on the carry, and he'll pick up about 4 yards on that carry. He'll be stopped at about the 20, we'll call it the 27-yard line. Looks like Rico Newton came in to make the hit along with Latree Richards and Leslie Hendricks. It'll be 3rd and about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and a short 3. He's got to get just across the 25 to pick up the 1st down. Ball is shy of the 27. And they're definitely in 4-down territory. Ball just inside the right hash mark. Double tight ends. Wishbone formation. McKenzie down under. Handoff. First man through. And he's going to have, no, he's going to be thrown back. He's going to be shy of the 1st down only by inches. Adam Vore on the carry. And it will be 4th down now for the Lions. Ball is just barely shy of the 25, and Latree Richards came up with Clint Reed to make the stop. It's going to be 4th and less than a yard for the Lions. Ball is on the right hash mark for the Lions. Double tight ends again. Wishbone formation. McKenzie down under at cornerback. Big play right here. There's a handoff. First man, no, it'll be the option, and it's going to go to Vore, and he'll pick up the 1st down all the way to the 20-yard line. Very good play that time by the Gravette Lions.
Option to the right, as you mentioned, they only needed about a yard to pick up that 1st down, but they picked up 6. They faked to the first man through on the dive on the first option, and then they went to the right with option play, Charles, and a pitch out to Vore, and he picked up 6 yards.
McGill and Richards on the stop for the Scrappers. 1st and 10 for the Lions at the Scrapper 20. Ball on the right hash mark. Wishbone, double tight ends again. McKenzie down under. It'll be the handoff into the backfield. It'll be Jones on the handoff that time, and he'll pick up a quick 3. And it looks like Newton, along with Westfall, on the tackle. That'll be the 10th play of this drive for the Gravette Lions. It'll be 2nd down, long 7, short 8 for the Gravette Lions. But as you pointed out a moment ago, it is definitely 4-down territory. territory for the Lions. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left here in the first period. Scrappers leading 7-0. Tight ends on each side now. Again, it's still a wishbone formation. It'll be the option. And that'll be the quarterback, McKenzie. And you go to about the 15-yard line, a pickup of about 2.5 yards. Hendricks on the stop for the Scrappers. Herschel Taylor also in on the stop for the Scrappers. They're going to mark it actually the 14. So it's going to bring up third down and about 4.5 yards to go for the Gravette Lions. Ball right in the middle of the field. A couple of players checking in for the Lions. Duker checked in. Wishbone formation. Once again, it's still a 2 tight end set. Handoff. No, they want an option. It'll be the toss. And good job on the defense by the Scrappers that time. Sean Jones on the carry. Leslie Hendricks and Jab Johnson came up along with Mark McGill. It'll be fourth down now and still about 4 yards to go for the Gravette Lions at the Scrapper 13-yard line. And the Lions may want to call a timeout and talk it over. They haven't yet.
It's been a very time-consuming drive, Charles. If they don't get points out of it or something productive, it'll really be hurting Gravette. But one thing very important here, they kept the ball away from Nashville. That's one thing they wanted to do.
Play clock is down to 7. They're going to have to call a timeout. They weren't even out of the huddle. They didn't have the play, so a timeout on the field now for the Gravette Lions. 1:32 left here in the first period. Scrappers leading 7-0 over the Gravette Lions. We'll be back with more football in a moment. You're listening to AA Playoff Football. Trying to get a consensus here on what play is going to be run. Some say pass, some say option. Well, option's been fairly effective for them. That time it was not. That time the option was to the left side, and that's the first time they've run that one. They've had a little effectiveness running the option to the right side. The ball is on the left hash mark, so the wide side of the field is to the right. Big fourth down play for the Gravette Lions. Big fourth down play for the Scrapper defense. Nashville leading 7-0 here, 1:32 left. This has been a great drive for the Gravette Lions. They've run 7 minutes off the clock. Ball is on the right hash mark, as I said, wishbone. Handoff, no, wants to throw it. Pass, it's going to be complete. No, it's on the ground, and it's incomplete. Oh, he had it for a moment. A Scrapper came in and knocked it out of his hands. It goes incomplete. And coming up, that was Boofer on the reception. And it looked like number 10, and that's going to be McGill on the defense for the Scrappers. Boy, what a play. He had that for a moment in his hands. Well, I told the guys in the booth, I think he'll throw it. They said, no, he'll run the option. That's what's been successful. Well, he threw it, and it was there.
Charles, they had that drive started on their 31. They went 13 plays. They were held at the Nashville 14. Scrappers taking over now.
Split backs for the Scrappers. McBride down under. Handoff right up the middle. That'll be Dugan. He's got it across the 15 and will be pushed back. They'll mark him at about the 16-yard line. And it looks like Gibson and Vore on the tackle now for the Gravette Lions. I can tell you right now, the Lions would love to be able to run that clock just like they did on that drive. Over 7 minutes, or right at 7 minutes, 7 minutes and 3 seconds to be exact, on that particular drive for the Gravette Lions. And when you can do that, you don't have to play defense. You can just keep the ball away from the Scrapper offense. Okay, the Scrappers will come out of that with a one-back set. Slots to each side now. Ball on the right hash mark. McBride down under at quarterback. Penalty flag in the air. And let's see what we're going to have. Somebody must be offsides.
Clock stop with 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. Scrappers leading 7-0. And
I believe the Lions lined up offsides, Rick, and that's exactly what happened. Well, the Lions offense had a pretty good little drive there and had the Scrappers taking the ball at their own 13 or 14-yard line. And only a couple of yard pickup or so on the first down, but then they step offsides. So that'll be second down and about 3 for the Scrappers at the 21. Again, slots to each side. Handoff right up the middle, Dugan. First down yardage, 30 or 25. Fights forward to the 30-yard line. So Dugan with a big pickup there. It's a first down for the Scrappers. Adam Bohr on the tackle for the Gravette Lions. And they'll mark it right on the 31. So the Scrappers kind of get the ball out of the hole. And Coach Laird signals the plays into Jared McBride. 3 first downs for the Scrappers, 2 for the Gravette Lions so far in the ball game. Washington will check wide to the left side. Reed in the slot with the ball in the right hash mark. Split back set, having some equipment problems. And the officials will call timeout for just a moment. One of the Scrapper backs, it looks like that's going to be Dugan, having a little helmet trouble. And now here we go. 11 seconds and running left here in the first period. Scrappers may get it off. They do. Hand off. That'll be Cleota Shoes. He'll try the right side. Gets it across the 35 and goes to about the 37, maybe even 38-yard line. Coming up is Marufo on the stop for the Gravette Lions. It'll be an 8-yard pickup for the Scrappers. Second down and about 2.5 yards to go. That's the end of the first period. However, Scrappers leading after 1, 7-0 over the Gravette Lions. You're listening to AA Playoff Football. Here in Nashville, the old flag standing out, looks like a left to right breeze, and it could be because the helicopter is blowing it, Mike says. And that is true. The Channel 7 helicopter is down there warming up, fixing to go up the road a little ways to Murfreesboro, where Murfreesboro is playing Charleston this evening in a big Class A matchup there. Ball is on the right hash mark, second down, about 2.5 yards at the 37-yard line, or just outside the 37 of Nashville. McBride wants to throw. Rose to his left, got a man open. Cleota Shoes at the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. And he's going to be tackled before he can get in the end zone at about the 4-yard line. And Doyle Gibson on the tackle. Two big passes to Cleota Shoes, and Hughes the setback coming out of the backfield for the Scrappers. Caught a touchdown pass a moment ago, and they're really having their eye on Washington, but they're letting the running backs go, and of course Coach Laird loves to throw to his running backs, and Channel 7 takes off, and they're on the way to Murfreesboro now. The official stopping play for just a moment. It'll be first down and go for the Scrappers at the Lion 2-yard line.
That play covered 61 yards, as you mentioned. Greg Washington lined up to the left as you're in and you're wide out, and then Cleota Shoes went back around to the right side, and he was wide open.
Scrappers with a dead T formation now. And the ball's on the ground, and I think McBride covered it. Let's see. And you know, Rick, it's kind of reminiscent a little bit of last week. I called the Scrappers at a first and goal at the 1-yard line, and McBride came out of there, and it was thrown for a loss back at the 15. And after I watched the replay on it, talked to Coach Laird today, and he said, I just want you to know that was not a running play, or not a pass play. And after I watched the replay on it, it was not. McBride came out of there and had trouble hanging on to the ball. And same thing here on this play. It'll be second down and goal back at the 5 now for the Scrappers. They're still in the dead T, or excuse me, that'll be a split T formation with Washington wide to the right side. Ball is on the right hash mark. Handoff. That'll be Dugan over the right side, very close to the score. Touchdown, Scrappers! Ryan Dugan on the 5-yard run. That comes with 10 minutes and 48 seconds left in the first half of play.
That's a 6-play, 86-yard scoring drive by the Nashville Scrappers. On their first 2 possessions, they've been able to score, Charles.
All right, Brian Dugan from 5 yards out. Extra point by Staley upcoming. And it will be McGill to hold. And the flag is still standing out, guys, even though the helicopter is gone, just in case you want to know that. There's the placement. kick is down, or kick is up rather, and right down the middle. It is, and the Scrappers now lead 14-0. Over the Gravette lines, you're listening to AA playoff football. Took 2 minutes and 38 seconds for the Scrappers to score. And the Gravette Lions, if they can run their offense the way they did a moment ago and keep the ball away from the Scrappers, it would be very beneficial to them. Of course, they also need to put some points on the board. They're down 14-0 now to the Nashville Scrappers. Scrappers kicking north to south now. And back deep to receive again will be Adam Bohr and J.R. Morgan. Standing on about their own 13-yard line, short high kick. It will be taken at the 24 to the 25. Oh, Hendricks met him right there. What a tackle by Leslie Hendricks at the 28-yard line. They'll mark him the 29, and that was J.R. Morgan on the return. And he just met Leslie Hendricks. Leslie Hendricks will probably be playing ball next year somewhere. He is one fine athlete.
10:43 to go in the first half of the Scrappers leading 14-0, and Gravette will be taking over offensively at their own 29-yard line, and this is only their second offensive possession.
Ball just inside the left hash mark. Gibson wide to the right side. Looks like Holloway wide to the right. Wishbone again. McKenzie wants to hand off. No option. He'll try to get outside. Breaks a tackle. At loose. First down yardage and shoved out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Scrappers had a hold of him for a loss on the play. Got loose. And we'll wait till we get the spot. It's going to be at about the 44. That is the Gravette 44-yard line where it is a Gravette first down. That'll be about the fourth first down, I believe, in the ballgame for the Gravette Lions. And it looks like Walker came up to make the stop for the Scrappers. There's going to be a timeout on the field for an injury, I believe, across the way, and I believe that's Chris Walker, the injured Scrapper. 10:37 left here in the first half, 14-0 Scrappers. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, it looks like Walker is getting up and coming off the field. That's Chris Walker for the Scrappers. And I'm not sure where his injury is. He's holding his midsection, walking with a little bit of aid, however, from a couple of coaches. Not feeling well at all. I believe that's Walker. That may not be Walker. Okay, David says, yes, that's Walker. Rico Newton was coming into, and that may be Timothy Beal and not Walker. And David says, yes it is. I can't tell, David.
83.
83, okay. 83 it is. Rico Newton checks in. They must be going to go with a 5-man front now. Walker, he may have a shoulder problem. Can you tell? It looks like he's having a problem with his shoulder. And he's over and going to sit on the bench. May have a dislocation. And, okay, they got him on the bench. Now we're taking a look at him. So here we go. With a first down for the Gravette Lions. And a handoff right up the middle. And that will be Sean Jones on the carry. And he's a good gain across the 50 to about the 47-yard line. Coming up to make the stop for the Scrappers is Irby. And Jones will pick up about 8 on the carry. It'll be second down and about 2. The wishbone is working well so far in this ball game for the Gravette Lions. And again, they're in Scrapper territory for the second time this evening. Of course, it's only the second offensive possession, but they're picking up pretty good chunks of yardage. Ball on the right hash mark. They're in that wishbone. Tight ends on each side now for the Lions. McKenzie down under. Handoff, first man through, that's 4. Picks up the first down. Excuse me, that was Jones, I think it was. No, it was 4, I'm sorry. Leslie Hendricks came up to make the stop along with Latree Richards. Also Irby in on the play. It is a first down, mark it at the Scrapper 43. And this is the 4th play of this drive coming up, and the Lions have moved the ball well. Scrappers leading 14-0. Clock running here. 9 minutes, 35 seconds left in the first half. Ball just inside the right hash mark. Double tights again. It'll be the option. No, he wants to throw. Pressure. Gets away from the pressure. Goes outside. Scrappers after him. He'll get loose. Pick up about 3 yards on the carry to the Scrapper 40-yard line. Latree Richards came up to make the stop for the Scrappers. They had him a moment, but he did a good job of getting out of the grasp. It looked like a Herschel Taylor. And then avoided another tackle and picks up about 3. It'll be second and 7.
McKenzie does a good job whenever he is put under pressure and he has to roll out of there. McKenzie did a good job to even get out and get away from losing any yardage, and then he picked up good yardage down to the 40.
Ball is now on the left hash mark, still going with 2 tight ends. The wishbone. McKenzie down under. It wants to throw, looks, passes it downfield. It's complete at the 30, and ball on the ground, and I believe the Scrappers are going to pick it up. That's going to be Leslie Hendricks. Holloway caught it and coughed it up as Paul Wayne Ray was in on the tackle, and Leslie Hendricks came up with the football and returned it, but Hendricks is down on the play also.
That was about a 17-yard gain on the pass play, but he fumbled at about the 23-yard line, Charles.
That was Boofer, not Holloway. And the Scrappers have another injury out there. 8:32 left now in the first half. 14-0. Scrappers will be back in just a moment. From the 33-yard line, split back, slant to the right side. McBride wants to throw, a little bit of pressure. Long pass downfield intended for Washington. Completed at the 40, 35-30. And they'll run him out of bounds across the way at around the 25-yard line, maybe even inside the 25. McKenzie on the defense for the Gravette Lions.
Nashville Scrappers have taken over on their own 33-yard line, and much as they like to do, once you have something happen and a big momentum change or something, they like to go for the big play. And they had Greg Washington open on the right side. Good pass by McBride. It's down to the Gravette 21-yard line.
All right. Scrappers with the first down. Ball on the right hash mark at the line, 21. Slot goes to the left side, and now somebody wants to call timeout. Timeout on the field called by the Gravette Lions with 8:23 left here in the first half of play. 14-0 Scrappers. You're listening to AA playoff football. Will have a first down at just inside the Gravette Lion 21-yard line. Gravette Lions doing pretty good on the ground. It looks like they've got, let's see, 50, 65, about 70 or maybe even a little over 70 yards of offense on the ground. And then they've picked up...
No, for Nashville, I was trying to point out close to 150 yards passing. Jared McBride has completed 4 out of 5 passes.
All right, here we go. Slot to the left side, which is the wide side of the field. Ball on the right hash mark. Split backs now for the Scrappers. McBride down under at quarterback. Here's the count. Long count. McBride hands off up the middle. Dugan, first down yardage and more. 10, 5-yard line, and they shove him back. They'll mark him just shy of the 5. They'll probably put it on about the 6. And Boofer on the tackle along with McKenzie. And we wait till we get the official spot. They may mark him back just a little bit. I think they'll mark him actually at the 7. Reed will check out. And Witherspoon will check in. 6 first downs now for the Scrappers. Scrappers will go back to a T-type formation. Washington wide to the left side now. Clock running, 7:55 left in the first half. Ball is on the right hash mark. Washington to the left side. It'll be the top sweep. That'll be Witherspoon. He'll get outside 5. Close to the goal, and the ball is fumbled, and it goes out of bounds. Let's see what we're going to have. It was fumbled into the end zone and went out of bounds. Did they call him down? The officials are talking it over. This ball could go over to the Gravette Lions, and I think it will. If it goes in the end zone and goes out of bounds, it's a touchback. The Scrappers fumble the football, and the Lions with a break. It'll come out to the 20. And Holt on the tackle for the Gravette Lions. Mistakes that you cannot make in playoff football, Scrappers do it right there.
Scrappers are leading by a score of 14-0, but as you mentioned, Charles, missed an excellent opportunity to score more, and a big break for Gravette now. So they'll take over on their own 20-yard line.
All right. Ball right in the middle of the field for the Gravette Lions. The ball almost came back out and went out at about the 1, but it didn't. It went just inside the pylon. So Wishbone double tights again for the Gravette Lions. Handoff, second man through. And he'll pick up maybe a yard. I think they're going to mark him right on the 20-yard line. That's Sean Jones on the carry. And Latree Richards came up and made the stop for the Scrappers. And we're going to give him a yard. He actually picked up about a half, but we'll give him a yard on the carry. That'll bring up second down now for the Gravette Lions. Ball still in the middle of the field for the Lions. They'll send, I believe that's Holloway wide to the, that's Boofer wide to the right side, and wants the option. And McKenzie will get outside and pick up pretty good yardage as he gets across the 25, and it'll be marked at around the 27-yard line. It looks like Leslie Hendricks came up along with McGill to make the stop, and Jab Johnson also in on the play. Latree Richards over there. We're going to mark it actually outside the 27. I'm going to call it the 28-yard line. It'll be third at about 2.5 yards to go now for the Gravette Lions, and the option has worked fairly well for the Gravette Lions in this ball game. Ball is on the left hash mark for the Lions, moving south to north. Wishbone split into the left side now. McKenzie looks him over, down under. Handoff, second man through. First down yardage as he gets it across the 30 to the 31. 4 on the carry for the Gravette Lions. And Latree Richards on the stop for the Scrappers. Actually going to mark it the 32. Lions not huge in size, but they're opening some pretty good holes. 14-0 Nashville, 6 minutes and 10 seconds now left in the first half. Looper wide to the right side. Wishbone again, splitting also to the left side. Handoff, first man through, and I believe that's going to be Jones on the carry. And he'll get it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It'll be a 4-yard gain, second down and 6 now for the Gravette Lions. That's the Lion 36-yard line. And Hendricks on the tackle for the Scrappers.
5:35 to go in the first half of play. Scrappers leading 14-0. Every time Gravette's moving the football, Charles, they haven't come up with a big play yet or anything to help them really get a score.
Luther wide to the right side. Now Bohr will check Jones wide to the left side. Handoff right up the middle. Big hole for Bohr. First down across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. It looks like Leslie Hendricks on the stop for the Scrappers along with Jab Johnson. And it will be another first down for the Gravette Lions. And 7 first downs now for the Gravette Lions. Scrappers with 6. Looper will check out of the ball game now. Lions will go back to a 2 tight end set. Officials calling timeout for a moment. And I think they want a different football. That's what it is. Ball just shy of the Lion 44, where it's first down for the Lions. 5 minutes exactly left in the first half. Wishbone again for the Lions. Ball on the left hash mark. McKenzie wants to option. Gets loose, picks up maybe a couple of yards. Good defense that time by Casey McCauley for the Scrappers, and he'll pick up about 2.5 yards. They'll mark it at about the 47. We'll bring up second down and about 7.5 yards to go for the Gravette Lions with the ball right in the middle of the field. And the Scrappers trying several different defensive people tonight. Running a lot of players in and out of there. Big second down play right here for the Lions. Right in the middle of the field is the set. And it's a 2-back set now, and the handoff goes now to Jones, and he'll get it across the midfield stripe to the 49. We'll bring up third down, and about 3 yards to go now for the Gravette Lions. Aaron Westfall on the stop along with Latree Richards. So another big third down play right here for both teams. Lions on offense, Scrappers on defense. Scrappers leading 14-0. And ball just inside Scrapper territory, as I said, at the 49. Inside the right hash mark is the spot. Got a wide receiver to the right side. Handoff, Bohr up the middle. Leslie Hendricks will tackle him in the secondary as he gets to about the 39-yard line. Big hole right up the middle for the Gravette Lions.
Good enough for another first down, about 10 yards for Bohr on that quick hitter.
And actually, we're going to mark it at the 38-yard line. And up front, great blocking up front by Patterson, Shields, Weeks, Holloway, and Jones for the Gravette Lions. Ball is on the left hash mark. 3:20 left here in the first half now. Wishbone, both tight ends are in tight. Handoff goes to Jones. He'll cut back, and the ball's on the ground. I think Nashville got it again. Let's see. Right at the line of scrimmage as he cut back, he lost the handle on it. The Scrappers come up with another turnover. And it looks like Timothy Beal for the Scrappers came up with the fumble recovery. So with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left here in the first half, the Scrappers have the football once again. And it will be at the 37-yard line.
Gravette took over a moment ago at their own 20-yard line. Charles, they had driven into Scrapper territory at the 38, and after 11 plays, then they fumbled the ball.
Ball on the right hash mark. Washington to the left side. Reed to the right side. Split backs. In motion goes Reed to his left now. McBride wants to throw with a straight drop. Looks. Pressure. Passes it. Washington complete at the midfield stripe to the 45. What a play that time by Washington to catch that ball, but I'll tell you, that pass was right on the money. Boofer on the stop for the Gravette Lions. It'll be a Scrapper first down. They'll actually mark it the 46. clock stops, 3:01 left here in the first half with the movement of the chains. It'll start once they get it set. And they wind it now. Ball is on the right hash mark. Washington to the left side. And the slot will be Reed. Again, it's split backs now for the Scrappers. McBride wants to throw. A little bit of pressure. He could be sacked. He's going to be thrown for a loss. All the way back at about the 42-yard line. And it looks like Gruber came up to make the stop for the Gravette Lions all the way back at the Scrapper 42-yard line. So that'll bring up second down at about 22 now for the Scrappers.
About a 12-yard loss on that particular play, Charles. We're getting some scores from other games, and we're understanding that Prescott is leading, and also D-Queen is leading. We'll give you those scores a little bit later.
Slot to the right side with the ball right in the middle of the field for the Scrappers. McBride with a straight drop, a little bit of pressure, got time, passes it downfield, complete to Washington. First down, 35, 30, and goes out of bounds across the way at about the 28-yard line. There's a flag, and it's probably going to be holding. Rufo on the tackle. Illegal block is going to be the call against the Scrappers. They're calling about a chop block. So the Scrappers will have a big 15-yard penalty mark off against them. Last two series for the Scrappers have not been kind. Fumbled away almost a sure touchdown drive a moment ago. And now the Scrappers with a first down inside the 30, or inside the 35 of the Gravette Lions, and now the Scrappers are going to be backed up 15 yards instead of a first down. It'll go back to second down, but now it'll be second down and about 37 yards to go. 2 minutes exactly left on the clock. Well, I know that sounds like a lot of yardage, but don't be surprised what the Scrappers can do with a passing game.
2 minutes to go here in the first half of Nashville leading 14-0. That was a big play. As you mentioned, a big pass play to Greg Washington. That one brought back.
Marked off from the spot. It'll be second down and 40 for the Scrappers all the way back at their 24-yard line. Slot to the left side. Split backs again for the Scrappers. McBride drops, looks, wants to throw. Pressure. Could be complete. Washington out of bounds at about the 42-yard line of Nashville. Come close to a penalty, and I'll tell you, Coach Laird is really upset, and the official. And I'll tell you what, I just noticed. Do you know who that official is, fellas? Nobody will know but me. The same official that had the ice thrown on him at Pine Bluff Nottoway last year. I promise you that's who it is. He didn't throw the ice, he got it thrown on him. That's who it is. Still got his beard. I recognize him. I don't know what his name is, and I certainly can't give it and wouldn't, but anyway, that's who it is, folks. Third down and 21 now for the Scrappers at their own 42-yard line. 1:53 now left in the first half. Coach Laird might want to call a timeout. No, Gravette's going to call the timeout, using their last timeout. And 1:53 left in the first half. 14-0 Nashville. We'll be back with more football in a moment. You're listening to AA Playoff Football. Come in that Prescott was leading McGee, and Fordyce leading Osceola, and DeQueen leading Rivercrest.
All of the ball games are fairly close.
Here we go. Third down and 21 for the Scrappers from their own 42. McBride with a straight drop. Little bit of pressure. Airs it out. Complete to Washington at the first down marker. It depends on the spot by the official. I don't know that he gave him a first down. It's very, very close. And that is going to be Derek Reed, not Washington, on the reception. I'll tell you what, he caught it right at the first down marker. They stopped the clock, and they have it running. Now they stop the clock for a measurement. Rick, we're just going to hold it right here because the spot of the ball is right over by the marker. It looked like it was enough for a first down, but it's going to be pretty close. And they've got the chain down. They're stretching it tight, and it is a first down for the Scrappers. started, as a moment ago, I told you, don't be surprised if the Scrappers can't pick it up. They had 2nd and 40 a moment ago, 1:33 left in the half, and they're now at the 36-yard line of the Gravette Lions. That's what a passing game can do for you. Ball is on the right hash mark. Washington wide to the left side. Reed will now be in the slot. Split backs again, that's Dugan and Hughes. McBride down under. Clock is running, 1:17 left in the half. McBride with a straight drop, looks, throws it downfield, complete to Washington, and a good defensive play by the Lions, and Washington had it, and they knocked it out of his hands.
Well, Greg did a complete
and it looked like
Boofer was up in the air.
Boofer on the defense for the Gravette Lions. It'll bring up 2nd down. That'll stop the clock on the incomplete pass now. 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the half. Nashville leading 14-0.
Greg is not very tall, but when he leaps up, Charles, he does a good job, and that time he was just upended.
All right, missed a flag. There is another flag on the field, and this is probably going to be holding against the Scrappers. Flag laying at the 39. So they'll mark that off from the spot if that's what it is. And they're moving up to the flag, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to walk off another big penalty against Nashville. Holding is the call, 10 yards. That'll be 2 for 25 now against the Scrappers. Mark it back at about the 49-yard line. 2 for 25 and 2 for 10 now against the Gravette Lions. Ball is on the right hash mark. Washington to the left side. Reed will be in the slot once again. 1:11 left in the half. Split backs. McBride with a drop. Pressure. Wants to throw. Throws it downfield. Could be intercepted. No. Couldn't quite come up with it. And McBride was leveled that time by number 88, Brad Hickman. And almost coming up with the interception that time was Holloway.
Both Reed and Washington were over in that area. I'm not sure which one was supposed to be running which route.
And it'll bring up, looks like 2nd down and about 23 now against the for the Scrappers, with 1:05 now left in the half. Well, the Lions ought to know that Scrappers are going to air it out if they possibly can.
That's only the second ball that's gone incomplete by Jerry McBride. He's thrown 8 out of 10 in the first half so far.
And Hickman was the reason that the pass probably wasn't complete because of the pressure. It's going to be the screen. It's going to be to Hughes. He's at the 50, cuts back at the 50, 45 to about the 40-yard line. And the Scrappers are going to, it's going to be marked actually at the 42. Scrappers may want to call a timeout here. Clock still running, 49 seconds. Coach Laird trying to get the signal. Marufo on the stop for the Gravette Lions. Timeout on the field, 48 seconds left in the half. Scrappers leading 14-0 over the Lions. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to AA Playoff Football.
For 212 yards.
Long setback is Dugan, slots to each side, ball on the left hash mark. McBride with a straight drop. Good protection. Wants to air it out. Passes it downfield. Oh, great defensive play. Reed was open, but what a play by Boofer to dive in front of Reed and to knock it down.
Big 3rd down play and a good defensive play for Gravette. And the Scrappers will come up now with a 4th and 15.
And as you said, it is 4th down and 15. I'll tell you what, that ball was right on the money, but what a play by Boofer. And Gravette has to be feeling pretty good. This is only the 4th offensive series in the first half of the Scrappers. They normally have 6 or 7. Split backs, 4th down play for the Scrappers at 15. McBride with a drop. Good pressure, or good protection. Airs it out. Long pass downfield. Washington had it knocked away at the last second. Hit him right in the numbers. But a great defensive play by 2 defenders over there. McKenzie and Boofer, I believe, were the 2 defenders over there. The ball will go over on downs now to the Gravette Lions at the Lion 42.
Well, the Gravette secondary has come up with 2 big plays on those last 2 defensive plays, Charles, against the Scrapper pass.
The Scrappers went for the bomb on that one. And it was there, but a great defensive play that time by McKenzie. So the Lions will have a first down at their own 42-yard line. 36 seconds left in the first half. And we've got the double slots now. Lone setback, it looks like Vore, the lone setback, or is that Morgan? That's Morgan. Pressure across the middle, and it goes complete. And that'll be Jones on the reception for about 4 yards, maybe 5. We'll give him 4. It looks like it'll be at about the 46-yard line. So it'll be second down and 6, clock running, 19 seconds and counting. Ball on the right hash mark, again, double slots. McKenzie down under, again, Jones the lone setback. McKenzie under pressure, thrown for a loss. Back at about the 42-yard line. It looked like Clint Reed in there along with Aaron Westfall. So that's going to be the end of the first half now. After one half of play, the Nashville Scrappers lead the Gravette Lions by a score of 14-0 here at Scrapper Stadium. The second round of the AA State playoffs. We'll be back with our halftime in just a moment. You're listening to Playoff Football.
Half of play, the Nashville Scrappers leading by a score of 14-0. But as we get set to get the second half underway, Charles, got to keep in mind Gravette will be receiving, and as well as they played in the first half, if they just get one big play or one big break and get a score, they're back into this ball game in a hurry.
Well, you're right, Rick, and if you'll recall, the Scrappers playing only a couple of weeks ago only had a 14-0 lead at the half, and then I believe it's Fountain Lake. Yeah, Fountain Lake came back and scored, making it 14-7. And that came with with 5 minutes left in the third period. Scrappers scored, and it ended up being about 49-0, or 49-7, I believe it was. Scrappers can score in a hurry, but the Gravette Lions, you've got to give them credit, Rick. They're really playing a fine football game. They're doing such a good job on offense. They're controlling the clock with their offense, keeping the ball away from the Scrappers. And Rick, they've had some good drives, but they've coughed the ball up.
Well, that was a Scrappers just coming out. You could hear the Scrapper fans on the near side hollering for their team. Gravette is already lined up, getting set to receive the football, so they will receive the opening kickoff. Nashville will be kicking off from the north end to the south, and Gravette will take over for their first offensive possession to begin the second half. Second half just about set to get underway, and Scrappers leading again by a score of 14-0. Now for the second half play-by-play, let's turn again to Charles Hubbard.
Looks like we're going to have a minute or so before the Scrappers get out on the field. Lions are ready. Injury situation for Nashville. Leslie Hendricks has a bruised thigh. He'll be playing. And Chris Walker, that was down for quite a while in the first half and came off and hurt him quite a bit with his shoulder. He is out on the sidelines, and he may or may not play. He's probably not going to come back in, but I see him on the sidelines, looks pretty good, so probably, if nothing else, would be ready for next week, possibly. So State will be out to kick north to south for the Scrappers. Hadn't got a ball out there yet, so we'll have it all fixed up for you here in just a moment. 14-0 our score here ready to start the second half. Nashville leading. Gravette Lions will be receiving. And let's see, it's going to be back deep to receive is Doyle Gibson. And there's a ball going out of bounds. That'll be a penalty against the Scrappers. And the Gravette Lions will have the option of backing the Scrappers up 5 or having an excellent spot at the 35. We'll wait and see what they do. They'll probably take the ball. It would surprise me, though, if they do. Yeah, they're going to make them kick it again, looks like. Well, they haven't made up their mind.
The official was ready to spot it down at the 35, and however, there's another official still back, still talking to the Gravette players, and I think they want them to kick it over.
Scrappers have moved back as if they're going to be punting it again. And now the Gravette Lions have not made up their mind. It looks as though. And evidently they have. Well, they've got the ball placed down at the 35. And evidently, well, I'll tell you what, somebody don't know what's going on because the officials have the ball down at the 35. And evidently, the Gravette Lions did not know that they had decided to take the ball, and the Scrappers certainly didn't, because both of them were in their normal return and kickoff positions, and the officials had the ball on the ground at the 35. Finally, somebody got the message, and the Scrapper defense is out there now, and the Lion offense. So, Lions with the ball, starting at their own 35, and no time, of course, is run off the clock. Nobody touched it. So, still exactly 12 minutes left in the third period. And Boofer comes wide to the right side. Good back step now. McKenzie down under at quarterback. Wants to hand off. First man through is 4, picking up maybe a couple of yards as they get across the 37. They may even mark him to the 38, and it will be Beal on the stop for the Scrappers along with Latree Richards. I'm going to give him 3.
Moore was the leading ball carrier for Gravette in the first half. He had 53 yards on 9 carries.
And it'll be second and 7 with the ball on the left hash mark for the Lions at the 38-yard line. That's the Gravette 38, wishbone formation. McKenzie wants to hand off. No, he wants to option now. Pitches it to the last second, and I'll tell you, no gain on the play that time. Scrapper defense was right there in the backfield. He may have lost a yard. Jones on the option that time for the Gravette Lions. And let's see where they spot it. Well, they're actually going to give him a yard. They marked it, evidently he squirted forward a little bit on the sidelines over there. So we'll give him 1. It'll be third at about 6 now. Ball at the 39-yard line. With still the spot is on the left hash mark. Boofer wide to the right side. And looks like Jones will be split to the left side. Now that can't be right. We'll get it right for you. Gibson, I guess it is. And wants to throw. That's to McKenzie. Passes it across the middle. Wasn't a soul where he threw the ball. And it looked like the intended receiver was going to be Jones. And he just went straight down the field. Morgan. And McKenzie, he was either throwing it away or he was throwing the out pattern.
McKenzie was hit by Reed about the time he threw the ball. I don't know if that had that much effect on the pass or not, but Reed was there right in time.
And 4 in punt formation, and it'll be Paul Wayne Ray and Mark McGill back deep to receive, standing at about the 30. Low snap. He'll pick it up. Nice kick. McGill signals a fair catch at the 30-yard line, and it'll be spotted right there. So the Scrappers will take over there, and the Lions have done a pretty good job of keeping the Scrappers from having great field position. Scrappers have had great field position in a lot of their games this year, mainly because they've held the other team on their end of the field. But a good job by the Lion offense to move the ball. Ball is on the left hash mark. Lone setback will be Hughes. Split into the right wing or tight slot on the right side. And handoff right up the middle. That'll be Hughes. Big hole, 35. Makes a cut at the 40. Outside the 40 will be run out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. And coming up to make the stop will be McKenzie along with number 34, and that's Jake Holt.
Offensively, Nashville has so many different weapons they can come at you tonight. Cleotis Hughes has had a fine night. Just a big carry there to open up the second half. Cleotis had 3 pass receptions in the first half for 111 yards, and they're a 14-yard ground gainer up to the Nashville 44.
Ball on the left hash mark. Reed will be wide to the right side, and Washington wide to the left side. Slot right. Lone setback again is Hughes. Again, Hughes right up the middle. Another hole. 50, 45, 40. Inside the 40, to go to the 36-yard line. And again, McKenzie has to come up and make the stop for the Gravette Lions. 2 plays, big yardage by Cleotis Hughes. And it'll be a first down for the Scrappers at the 36-yard line of the Gravette Lions. 48 yards now. on the ground for Cleota Shoes. Ball is on the left hash mark, slot to the right side. And Washington is the split end on that side. Split backs now, Dugan and Hughes. McBride down under, Scrappers jump on the offensive line. It'll be a 5-yard penalty marked off against the Scrappers.
We had two that jumped off together. They were in step, weren't they?
They certainly were. And that'll be the third penalty now, I believe, for the Scrappers for 30 yards. And two penalties, I believe, yes, 2 penalties for 10 against the Gravette Lions so far in the ball game. So mark it back just outside the 41, where it'll be first down and 15 now for the Scrappers. Ball is still on the left hash mark, and again it'll be the same set with Washington and Reed wide to the right side. And as again, it's Dugan and Hughes, the setbacks. And Hughes on the carry again. 40, fighting for yardage inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. And let's see, coming up to make the stop will be Holt again for the Lions along with Boofer. They'll bring up second down now and 8 yards to go for the Scrappers. A 7-yard pickup that time by Cleota Hughes. Clock running here in the third period, 9 minutes and 10 seconds left. First offensive series here in the second half by the Scrappers. And the Lions had their first offensive series a moment ago, was 3 and out. Slot to the right side again on the same set. McBride on the toss sweep, it'll go to Hughes. He cuts back, got yardage, close to a first down. He's got first down yardage at the 25, inside the 25 to the 20, and he'll be tackled inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. McKenzie again has to come up and make the stop along with Gibson. And Scrappers doing it on the ground instead of in the air now.
That was a 15-yard carry by Cleota Hughes. He has 6 carries now, 71 yards, and couple that with 3 pass receptions for 111. What a night for Cleotas.
11th first down of the ball game for the Scrappers. Slot left now for the Scrappers. Handoff, Dugan. He'll try the left side. He'll be inside the 15-yard line to about the 14-yard line, and Holt comes up to make the stop for the Lions. It'll be about a 6-yard gain. Second down and a long 4 for the Scrappers just inside the 15-yard line. Clock running, 8:10 now left in the third. Scrappers getting a play in from Coach Laird. And the ball is just inside the right hash mark. Washington to the near side, which is the right side, and Reed to the left side, the wide side. Split backs again. McBride hands off. That'll be Hughes. Cuts back against the gray. And he'll be shoved back as he gets to about the 10-yard line. And Adam Bohr came up to make the stop along with Morgan.
Well, I tell you, Cleotas thought he saw something open up to the outside. It was jammed up in the middle, cut to his right, but Gravette's defense, quick reaction, and they recovered on that play and going to give Cleotas about 2 yards on that carry.
Reed will check out, Witherspoon will check in. So Scrappers going back with that split T formation now. Ball is on the right hash mark. 3rd and 3 from the 12. Handoff. That'll be Hughes. First down, 5. Inside the 5. Still on his feet, close to the score. Did he get in? No. I think he's going to be down at about the 1-yard line. And coming up will be Vore on the tackle. But it'll be a first and goal. Scrappers at about the 1-yard line. So the Scrappers with 7:04 now left here in the third period, threatening to score at the Lion 1. McBride has the play, and I'm noticing that Washington has a noticeable limp. He had an injury a couple of weeks ago. Split T formation again, handoff Dugan, touchdown Nashville. And the Scrappers are on the board on a 1-yard run by Brian Dugan with 6 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third. And it's 20-0. Scrappers awaiting the point after attempt.
That capped an 8-play, 70-yard drive, capped on a 1-yard run by Brian Dugan for the Scrappers score. 6:43 to go in the third quarter. Scrappers leading 20-0 with a PAT coming up.
So Sabley's in to attempt the point after. McGill to Hope. And they look like the Lions jump. There's the kick. It's up. Looks good. And it is. Sabley perfect 7 last week. Perfect 3 tonight. 21-0. the Scrappers with 6:43 left in the third period. Nashville with the lead. You're listening to playoff football. Scrapper Stadium where the Nashville Scrappers are leading 21-0, and it was an 8-play 70-yard drive that time by the Scrappers that took about 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And extra point by Staley was good. That touchdown was capped by a 1-yard run by Dugan. A high kick. It'll be short at the 24, to the 25, to the 30, and outside the 30 to the 35, falling forward to about the 40. And Jones was on the return to the 39 for the Lions, and it'll be placed, as I said, at the 39, and that's where the Lions will take over for only their second offensive possession here in the second half. 6 minutes and 34 seconds left here in the third period. The Lions need to get things rolling. It's 21-0 Nashville, and they will send Boofer wide to the left side. In fact, he'll be so wide, he'll be on the bench. I thought he was going to check out. Came out of the huddle and went all the way to the sideline. So I guess we'll just wait and see what they do. All right, they're going to put Holt at tight end now. So they'll have split end on the left side, split backs now. And McKenzie hands off right up the middle, falls on the ground. Scrappers have got it again. The Lions fumble again, and the Scrappers come up with it. And it's got to be Beal on a recovery for the Scrappers, and we'll mark it at the 37-yard line. So one play, and the Lions cough it up. 6:29 is the time on the clock. And the Scrappers will take over now, leading 21-0.
Ball is spotted at the Gravette 38-yard line.
Well, the Scrappers are leaving Washington on the bench, so we may not see any more of him tonight. He may have gotten his ankle stung just a little bit. Reed checks wide to the right side, and it'll be a T formation now for the Scrappers. Ball on the right hash mark, and Reed will now check in a little tighter. Split only about 5 yards out. McBride wants to throw out of that set, though. Heavy pressure. Can he get away? Breaks a tackle. Can he turn it upfield? 40, and he's going to lose a couple of yards as he's run out of bounds at about the 39. But I'll tell you what, he was going to be trapped for about a 15-yard loss. They'll mark it at the 39. Holloway ran him out of bounds. I'll tell you what, you got to see a little bit of the speed, or at least we did, and the fans here from Gravette got to see a little bit of the speed of McBride. I noticed in the paper the other day, they had him listed at about a 5-second 40. Well, I can testify he is faster than a 5-second 40. And I think it showed right there. That's lineman speed, and I can tell you right now, he can run up and down a basketball court. He's about 6'5". He's an all-sport player. I can tell you what, he is a dandy. And it's second down and about 12. Scrappers just inside the 40-yard line. Handoff, that'll be Hughes. He'll try to cut back. Got a little bit of yardage. Breaks the tackle, 35. He's at the 30. First down yardage at about the 25-yard line. Gibson has to come up and make the tackle.
We made the point a little bit earlier. It's kind of hard to key on somebody, and you all of a sudden scout Nashville, and you say, well, you've got to look out for the passing combination. You've got to look out for number 2 and this and that. It's hard to key in on any particular players because look at this night that Cleotis Hughes is having tonight.
And that was David Gibson. Got 2 Gibsons in there. David Gibson, the lineman, had to come up and make the tackle. And first down, Scrappers at the 26-yard line of the Lions. Split T again, ball on the left hash mark. Split into the right side, and they want to look for him. Pass it downfield, overthrown, and he tried to hit the tight end, Martin, that time, and overthrew Martin more on the defense. And I tell you, it almost looked like that McBride could not make up his mind whether he's going to throw it deep or underneath, and he kind of threw it in between, and Boer had a better chance to catch it than one of the Scrappers. That'll stop the clock, though. 5:45 left in the third. And it'll be Second down and about 10 now. Paul Wayne Ray checks in, and he'll be at one of the wideouts. And Witherspoon, one of the setbacks, comes out of the ball game for the Scrappers. And they'll have Martin, the tight end, move out in a slot on the right side, and Hughes, one of the setbacks, moves to a slot on the left side. Wideouts will be Reed and Ray. Handoff right up the middle. That's Dugan. Big yardage. First down, or close to it, at the 15-yard line. They're going to shove him way back. But he's right at the first down marker at the 15-yard line. Casey McCauley for the Scrappers comes up hurting a little bit. Moore and Holloway on the tackle. They may want to measure this one. And they are. Timeout on the field for a measurement. 5:20 left here in the third period. And, well, wait a minute. The official finally made the call. We'll take a timeout back in a moment.
Short of the first down.
Third and 1. Handoff right up the middle. Dugan, first down. Picks it up by about 2 yards or so as he gets it across the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Well, we heard the Arkansas Razorbacks defeated Jackson State tonight by a score of 127-74. That's quite an offensive showing. And I'll tell you, Coach Andy Stockton thought that his Jackson State team was the best one he had ever had. So big start for the Arkansas Razorbacks basketball team this year. Reed will check wide to the right side for the Scrappers. That's the near side with the ball on the right hash mark. Slots to each side. Dugan again, the lone setback. McBride under pressure. Wants to throw it downfield. It'll go incomplete. I'll tell you what, he was leveled. Good pressure that time on McBride by Marufo. It'll bring up second down for the Scrappers. And stopping the clock on the incomplete pass. 4 minutes and 41 seconds. We'll try to pass any other scores that we have for you on along to you as the playoffs around the state are being played. Lone setback will be Cleotis Hughes. Split into the right, wide receiver to the left, draw play, Cleotis Hughes. Got him a little yardage. He could score 5. Touchdown, Cleotis Hughes. 13-yard touchdown run by Cleotis Hughes.
He has just about had a double-double, triple-triple, whatever you want to call it, because Cleotis now 10 carries, 110 yards, and 3 pass receptions for 111 yards.
That's a double-double anyway. Or a double-triple.
Double-triple.
A double-triple. All right, here we go. Extra point attempt by Staley. McGill to hold. There's the snap. The placement's down. The kick is up. And it is good. And the Scrappers now lead 28-0 on the Gravette Lions. 4:34 left in the third period. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to AA Playoff Football.
The third quarter, Preston 25, Ladue 0.
Scrappers about ready to kick off here in just a moment. Well, we were talking a moment ago, and I told you about how tight Fountain Lake was with Nashville a couple of weeks ago, and what the score ended up at 14-0. And here we got 4:34 left in the third, and the Scrappers, they can do it. Believe me, they're for real.
Scrappers have scored on their first 2 possessions of this half, and they scored on the first 2 possessions of the first half.
And Scrappers are doing it by the run also tonight. There's a kickoff. It will be by Stavely to about the 12-yard line. There's a return, and that's going to be number 20 Gibson on the return, and will get it outside the 30 to about the 31-yard line. And Irby along with looks like Lavelle Leaper. And let's see who else. Pryor, DeMarco Piggy, Rodney Campbell came up to make the stop for the Scrappers. 4:25 left in the third. And the Lions have the ball down 28-0 to the Scrappers at their own 31-yard line with the ball on the left hash mark. In the last series, the Lions kind of got out of their normal game plan, Rick. They started throwing the football just a little bit. They're going with a two-back set. No, I'm sorry. They're back in the wishbone now with a double tight ends, trying to get back to what they do best. Ball on the ground again. Let's see what happened. I'll tell you, a bad exchange from the center to the quarterback, and I think the Lions got it back.
Well, that's what happened on their last series. You know, they had one play and fumbled on it. So there again, they just dodged a miss out there.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10, still from the 31. Lions may be down just a little bit, but they need to get their head back in the game. I mean, there's still quite a bit of time left in this game. You could do something. And it looks like we got a couple of Scrappers, another Scrapper hurting on the sideline, and I believe that's Fincher. Scrappers getting beat up just a little bit tonight. Split backs now for the Lions. Want to hand off, first man through, and that will be Moore on the carry. And it looks like McGill and who else came up to make the stop? Leslie Hendricks. We'll give him about 4 yards on the carry. Third down and about 6 yards to go now. Ball just outside the 35 for the Gravette Lions. Ball is still on the left hash mark. And Coach Phillips shuffling plays in and out. And they'll go with a slot to the, well, they go back into the wishbone, and I think they don't know what they want to do. No, they had to call timeout because the play clock had ran down, and they weren't going to get the play off. So the Lions take a timeout with exactly 3 minutes left in the third. Scrappers 28, Lions nothing. Back in just a moment. Well, we heard DeQueen and Rivercrest was tied 7-7 with DeQueen on about the Rivercrest 31 and driving. Prescott leading McGee 26-0. Mina leading Dollaway 26-0. So these scores coming in, the winner of this game, of course, will play Mina next week. And one lone set back. McKenzie wants to throw. Hit right when he throws. Intercepted by Irby. He's gone. Nobody has a chance. Interception by Jamie Irby. Touchdown, Scrappers. No flags on the play. And the Scrappers have scored again, this time on an interception by Jamie Irby.
Jamie picked that off at about the Gravette 40-yard line, and he just went in untouched. Nobody was near him.
2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the third, and Jamie Irby with the interception and the 40-yard return. When he got that, he caught it on the run. Nobody there. So the Scrappers will be attempting another point after with Stavely. It's now 34-0. And looks like McGill has checked in to hold again for the Scrappers. And as I said, Stavely's been perfect. We'll see if that's a jinx on him right here. Good snap, placement down, kick up, looks good, and right down the middle. Perfect again, and there is a flag. And I believe there's going to be a penalty against the Lions, I think. Or did they even call it? Stavely is down. And I can't believe they wouldn't call a penalty.
The flag
there is the flag. Yes. Finally, I saw it. and that will be roughing the kicker, and Stavely comes up limping. And we'll just hold it here for just a moment. Stavely coming off. Now, I'll tell you what, a kicker's in a very vulnerable situation there. He's limping pretty good, but he's trying to shake it off. Scrappers may want to try an onside kick like they did last week. 35-0 the score. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sorry, one spot, okay? One spot. He wanted somebody to talk.
Well, Coach Laird's mad about something. All right, the penalty is going to be marked off against the Lions on the kickoff. I assume it will be. It's could be that the Lions or the Scrappers would even refuse it. Surely not. They may do it though with a score of 35-0. I saw the official give the signal.
He even grabbed one of the players to go back and talk to make sure.
I kind of thought that was going to be automatic, that they just walk it off, but evidently it's not going to happen. He did say that the Scrappers had signaled the refusal of the penalty. Well, the fans don't like it, I can tell you that. And I'll tell you, the officials, Scrappers are going to have to call a timeout here.
I think a timeout's called so maybe they can talk to somebody.
I think they're going to talk to the official about this, so we'll just go ahead and take another break. 35-0 Nashville. Back again in just a moment. Discussing things out there, folks. I actually thought that the penalty would be automatically marked off, but evidently it's not going to be that way. Of course, it's 35-0. Coach Laird's not going to put up a huge battle here, but he sure did want at least an explanation of what they're doing, and they're still going to kick it off from the 40-yard line, but now they're going to put it right in the middle of the field and just kick it away. Well, I don't understand, but it doesn't matter whether I understand or not, only that they understand. So the Scrappers kicking off from the 40, leading 35-0 with 2:51 left in the third period. And there's the approach and there's the kickoff. Long kickoff, it will be taken at the 11. And that's Gibson on the return. 20, tries to cut back. 25, 30, and they will be tackled by Darrell Pryor and Witherspoon at about the 32-yard line. That's where the Gravette Lions will take over right there. Gibson getting up and hurting just a little bit now. And we heard that Osceola finally got their act together, leading 20-6 in the third period over Fordyce. The very bottom of the bottom bracket. That's where they're located in that matchup over at Osceola. Of course, Osceola won the AAA state championship last year, moving down to AA this year. Wishbone formation. Ball is on the right hash mark. Handoff. No, wants the option, and that'll be McKenzie back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Leslie Hendricks hit him first, and on the bottom of that pile is going to be Clint Reed. And it looks like Westfall was in there also, and also in on the play was Leslie Hendricks. They'll bring up second down, and still about 10 yards to go for the Lions, with the ball still on the right hash mark. Clock running with 2 minutes and 10 seconds now left in the third period. Holt will check wide to the right side. Or excuse me, that's Boofer wide to the right side. For the Lions, split back set now. McKenzie straight drop, wants to throw. Westfall with a pressure. Pass out there complete for about a yard or two gain. What a hit by Mark McGill. And that is going to be, I think, Jones on the reception. Excuse me, that is going to be Duker. Duker on the reception at the 36-yard line. A 4-yard pass from McKenzie to Duker. McGill on the stop for the Scrappers. Going to bring up 3rd down and 6 now for the Lions. Now the ball is on the left hash mark. Plays coming in and out by Coach Phillips, as we said. Play clock running down to 10 seconds now. Boofer wide to the right side. And slot right. Slots to each side. McKenzie again wants to throw. Passes it. Oh, it's complete. It's intercepted by Irby again, and he's gone again. Played center field. Nobody there.
He caught that one at about the 37, so now he's got a 37-yard return for a touchdown.
I tell you, Jamie Irby's going to have his name in the paper this week. I'll tell you, he'll be one of the shining stars in the Democrat Gazette. 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. 37 yards. And that comes with 1:02 left in the third period. If you're not a passing team, it's hard to do those kind of things.
And I tell you, Nashville, that's just part of the arsenal. Great defense. I tell you, that secondary has stepped it up to where they can come up with interceptions.
And again, Stately into attempt the point after. There's the snap, the placement's down, the kick is up. Penalty flag again, it's right down the middle. And we have, let's see. I think there's going to be another personal foul here. Let's see who it's on.
Well, go, Charles, I do believe the call, and we had a clarification, some discussion up here. I believe it was running into the kicker, not roughing the kicker. It was a 5-yard, or should have been, and I think they did refuse that.
You may have exactly. This is a personal foul against the Lions, and this one should be on the kickoff. 41-0 our score. Should be 42-0. After they explain it. Well, we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be back here in a moment. 1:02 left in the third. You're listening to Playoff Football.
First foul is removed. Extra point is good.
Nashville, 1:02 left in the third period. Scrappers again refuse the penalty. And we'll kick off from the 40. And Mark Stately has the ball on the tee, and the Gravette Lions still in the huddle. And Coach Phillips talking to them over there, trying to rally his troops a little bit and trying to encourage them a little bit too, it looks like. I know there was some talk at the half about Huntsville and how good Huntsville was, and some of the folks said, well, you don't really want too much of Huntsville. And I can believe that Huntsville's a very good football team. I don't know what the score was between Huntsville and Gravette, and it probably doesn't matter.
Well, this team here for the Scrappers knows how to put up points. We can say that.
Long kickoff by Stately. Fumble at the 10. Picked back up by Gibson. Cuts it upfield. He's going to be tackled inside the 20. This time at about the 18-yard line. Jab Johnson down there in a hurry, along with Leeper and also Darrell Pryor and Witherspoon. And they'll mark it at the 18-yard line. There's that yell again down there that we've heard. And
I think that's about 3 times tonight they've done it. They're going
he said he doesn't get hoarse. I talked to him. Wayne Woodruff.
All right.
I'll get his name on there. That'll make him happy, I know. He's told me the other day he appreciated me getting him on the radio. I said, well, I didn't give your name. That's okay. You got Miguel on there.
Get him, earn him a quarter here pretty soon.
Good crowd traveling down from Northwest Arkansas by the Gravette fans. Long way. Handoff right up the middle. Pretty good yardage. He's in loose. And that's going to be 4. And he's at the 40. Tries to cut back. And a tackle by Paul Wayne Ray on Adam Bohr. Good run by Adam Bohr right up the middle. And he'll get it all the way to the 43-yard line.
That's a 25-yard run for Bohr. 85 yards on the night so far for Bohr on 12 carries.
And Scrappers putting in 1 or 2 players now.
Charles Wayne's been going 2 for the night. That's their first down here in the second half for Gravette.
Scrappers beginning to substitute, maybe a little bit, not a whole lot yet. Wishbone formation, ball is on the right hash mark, handoff, no, option to the left. That'll be McKenzie, tries to cut outside and he'll pick up about 5 quick yards, maybe even 6 as he gets to about the 49-yard line. Looks like Big E came up to make the stop for the Scrappers along with Leslie Hendricks, also Timothy Beal on the stop. And to bring up second down, about 4 yards to go for the Gravette Lions. Just shy of the midfield stripe. That was going to be the last play of the third period, however, our score. After 3 periods of play, Nashville 42, Gravette Lions nothing. We'll be back with a 4th and final period right after this. You're listening to AA Playoff Football. Scrapper Stadium, the Nashville Scrappers have now got 14 first downs and the Lions with 9 first downs. And we change ends of the field. And the Lions will be facing second down, about 4 yards to go to start the 4th period. Ball just shy of the midfield stripe. Ball just inside the left hash mark. McKenzie, the Lion quarterback, has them at the line of scrimmage. It'll be the wishbone formation. A little bit of an offset wishbone. Hand off, second man through. That's going to be Bohr. Gets to that's Jones. He's going to be tackled at the 50-yard line. They're going to call a penalty against the Scrappers there. And I couldn't see it because of the Scrapper players right there. And the play was right in front of the Scrapper bench, and they had it covered up. But Latree Richards evidently is the guilty party. Dead ball, they said. Looked like the play was still going down, but anyway, it's going to be a 50-yard penalty mark off against Nashville. That'll be a first down for the Gravette Lions. Well, you can hear the Scrapper fans, they don't like it, but folks, it's 42-0. Of course, that could make a difference in a tighter ball game, evidently. And the Scrapper fans not going to let the officials rest at all. Of course, they never do, actually. It'll be the first down at the 35 now for the Lions. Ball is on the left hash mark. Slots to each side now. McKenzie down under. Wants to throw. Straight drop. Looks. Fly pattern. And there's going to be a penalty flag. I'll tell you what, actually, the penalty should be against the receiver because he ran into the defender. I don't know how you're going to call it. I've got a good idea how you'll call it. But, I mean, he ran right into Paul Wayne Ray. That was Holt. I'm not sure how they're going to call it. Holt was just standing there, and he ran right into him. I imagine they'll call it against the Scrappers, however. No, they're not. They're going to call it against the Lions. That's how I would have called it.
Well, the play occurred way downfield, like you mentioned, Charles. His flag was down at about the 12-yard line.
He just ran right into him, and Ray was standing there actually backing up on the play, and he just ran right over him.
And once contact was made, Paul Wayne did the right thing, stepped back a little more and just moved his hands back like he had nothing to do with that contact.
All right, it'll be a 15-yard penalty marked off against the Gravette Lions. That's something they don't need, but the guilty party was hold. So it'll be second down. I get to play over in 25 now. Or excuse me, they don't get to play over, they lost it down. I'm sorry. Lost it down, second and 25. Ball is on the left hash mark. And Boofer wide to the right side. I'll get it right. And McKenzie with a straight drop. Wants to throw. Screen pass to Vore. Complete. Cuts back. He's at the 45. He's at the 40, and he's on the ground at about the 39. And looks like McGill came up and made the stop for the Scrappers along with DeMarco Big E. And he'll pick up about 10 or 11 yards on the carry, or on the reception and return. I'll give him 11, Rick. It's going to be third and about 14. Just inside the Scrapper 40. And Moore did a good job that time after he caught the ball to cut it back upfield and avoid a couple of tackles. And they will send Boofer wide to the right side now. Long setback, I think, is Jones, and McKenzie up in the air, intercepted, and that's going to be Paul Wayne Ray across the 35 to the 40-yard line.
He intercepted the ball at the 25 in a 15-yard return up to the Scrapper 40-yard line now.
And Boofer, the intended receiver, Rick, the ball a little high, went off of his hands, and actually Ray got it on the tip. And coming up to make the stop was Sean Jones and Brian Weeks. Scrappers now with 3 interceptions. Well, you wouldn't think there would be a lot of interceptions in a game like this against a team that likes to run the football, but they're a little bit out of their element trying to throw the football now. The best thing they do, of course, is run the football. Ball is on the left hash mark for the Scrappers. First and 10. Split back set. McGill in at quarterback. Witherspoon on the handoff, and there's a penalty flag. Thrown in at about the line of scrimmage. Usually that's going to be holding. And Vore came up and made the stop for the Lions, and the initial call is holding. McGill has stepped in at quarterback for the Scrappers.
We watched Greg Washington over on the sideline. He looks like he's walking around fine. As a matter of fact, I thought he was going to maybe check back in. He'd gone up to the line, put the helmet on, and I thought maybe he was going in, but he is not yet. He's sitting out there. He looks like he's walking just fine, Charles.
And mark off 10 yards against the Scrappers for holding, and they will repeat first down.
He may have had more of a little hamstring bothering him or something there for a moment when he was limping. Maybe that was it. He's got to work that out a little.
It could be. I'm not going to speculate on that. I don't know. I know he's had that footage.
Well, he was stretching a little bit on the sideline.
Very
That's
well
what we
could
were
be
looking
what
at.
it is then. A little tight maybe.
Right.
Cold night. Split backs again. And McGill fumbles it. Got to pick it up. Try to make a little bit out of it. Nothing there. Thrown down by Vore. And mark about another 2-yard loss. Where it'll bring up now second down and about 22 for Nashville. Clock continuing to run. 9:55 left in the game. And Boofer on the stop for the Lions. McGill coming over to the sidelines to get the play from Coach Laird and running back in. And the ball is right on the, well, actually just inside the left hash mark. They'll send Paul Wayne Ray and Derek Reed wide to the right side. Split back set again for the Scrappers. It'll be the toss sweep with Witherspoon. 30, 35. Got a block. 40, 45. Cuts back. 50, 45. Inside the 45-yard line of the Gravette Lions. And the running game, I'll tell you what, that's something that people didn't know the Scrappers had. But I can tell you right now, Scrappers have got a pretty fair running game. I think everyone knows that now. Hope on the stop for the Lions along with Jones.
27-yard run for Witherspoon. He hadn't gotten loose all that much tonight. Been a big night for Cleotis Hughes, though.
Well, Witherspoon, a sophomore, and I can tell you right now, he is a fine little running back. He can break them.
Going down to 9 minutes to go in the game with the Scrappers leading 42-0.
Jamie Irby, the lone setback now for the Scrappers. And slot to the left side, and that's Witherspoon the slot. handoff. That'll be Irby, and I'll tell you what, he was met right there, loss on the play, never had a chance. They'll bring up second down. And it looks like Hickman, along with Gruber, on the stop for the Lions. About a 4-yard loss for Irby on that play. Bring up second down and 14. Mark it back at the Lion 49-yard line. I'll tell you, these two teams, they look so much alike. They've got exactly the same uniforms, except the Lions have black helmets, the Scrappers with orange. And they've got their jerseys just backwards and the pants backwards from the other team. One with white pants and black on the other. White jerseys on the Lions, black on the Scrappers. And here we go with a split back set. Irby will try to get outside, cuts back. He can go. He's at the 40, inside the 40. He's gone. He's going to go all the way. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jamie Irby. That is 3 touchdowns on the night now for Jamie Irby. Intercepted 2, and Paul Wayne Ray threw a great block to Spring. So Irby loses 4 and then comes back and gets 49. 49-yard touchdown run by Jamie Irby. That comes with 7 minutes and 56 seconds left in the ball game now. And Stapley will be in to attempt the point after. And McGill to hold. And a high snap way over the head, and I'll tell you, there's another flag in there. And McGill will pick it up, and he's going to be tackled. Looks like another penalty. There should have been another flag, late hit, and McGill is really upset for the late hit. I can't blame him. I'll tell you, the Scrappers had to pull him out of there. Boy, McGill was mad. I mean to tell you, if the officials can't get a handle on the ball game, I'll tell you what, Coach Laird is really going to be upset. That's how you get somebody hurt. That was an extremely late hit.
We got to see what the call is down here because I'm interested in it. It was a high snap, and I want to see what the call is there. Maybe that might have caused the high snap.
I'm sure it did. Personal foul is the call against the Lions. Well, Coach Laird is going to be mad. I'll tell you what.
This is where the score.
I'll tell you what,
he's trying to score here.
Coach Laird will go for 2. That's exactly what he's going to do. Anytime a team starts acting that way, that's his only way of retaliation.
He will not. He wants his team to be sports, but he will say, let's score.
I can promise you this, Coach Laird will not run up the score on anybody, but if somebody starts acting that way, the only way he can retaliate, if the officials can't get the control of the game, and if a coach can't control his players, then Coach Laird will just go out there and score.
You know, your players keep under control too, Charles, because then they've got an opportunity to go out there and perform, and they don't have to retaliate in any way. They just go out and perform. It's 48-0, and we've got a 2-point attempt coming up by the Scrappers.
They'll mark a half a distance to the go, and the Scrappers will just go for 2 is what they'll do. And now let's see, the officials trying to get a handle on things, and he's talking now to both captains, and that's what the officials should do. And they should say, "Hey, look, guys, let's just play football and let's quit the rough stuff, and let's don't do it." There's no sense in doing that. But that's exactly what's happening. The officials talking to both captains now and letting them know that they're just not going to put up with it, and there's no reason for it. So it's McGill, and I can't tell who that is for the Lions. It'll be a half the distance to the goal, so the ball will be resting on about the 1.5-yard line, and the Scrappers will go for 2. It'll be Irby and Witherspoon, the setbacks. McGill, the quarterback for the Scrappers. It'll be the toss sweep to Witherspoon, and he'll hit and go into for the score. The 2-point conversion. It'll be 50-0. Scrappers will be back for the Scrapper kickoff in just a moment. Your own team has gotten a personal foul against them, and
Charles, one thing we just found out, the Queen and Rivercrest are in overtime. The Queen has had opportunity to score, and they've made their extra point, and now Rivercrest apparently has it now, so that's a good close ball game.
The Queen has the lead with the extra point in overtime. Rivercrest
has their turn now.
Okay, boy, big ball game there. fourth place team out of 7AA taking the second place team out of 3AA. There's a kickoff. It will be taken. And boy, there's a little rooster fighting going on downfield, and it's going to be on the return will be Boofer, and they'll get it in Scrapper territory to about the 45-yard line. Little rooster fighting going on downfield. If anybody knows what rooster fighting is, I guess everybody knows what that is. And mark it at the 34-yard line, or excuse me, 44-yard line of Nashville, and that's where the Lions will take over. This is something unusual. Nashville has 36 second-half points without a passing yard.
That's right. Jerry McBride is finished up for the night, I would say. He only attempted 2 passes in the second half, incomplete on both of them.
Ball on the left hash mark. And McKenzie wants to throw it across the middle. Tip and intercepted, in and out of the hand. I'll tell you what, DeMarco Piggy had a chance on the tip play then to intercept it. It would have been no return, but he had it at the 30 and aboard the intended receiver. It goes incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 7 minutes and 44 seconds left in the ball game. So it looks like Nashville and Mena. I can tell you right now, Mena has been pointing to this game all year long.
It's going to be a fine ball game coming up for next weekend, isn't it?
Oh, you bet it is. And second down and 10, ball on the left hash mark. McKenzie, straight drop, wants to throw, pressure. Fly pattern, ball in the air, could be intercepted, and it is. And that's going to be Jason Nolte on the interception for the Scrappers, all the way back at the 24-yard line. Great interception by Nolte, and the intended receiver was Duker. So the Scrappers have got 3 interceptions now in this half.
Big turnovers in the ball game. Charles played a key role. That's the 4th interception the Scrappers has come up with in the game, and also they've had 3 fumble recoveries.
And I might add the second team defense was in there. Now now we have Blake Young coming in, a Scrapper sophomore at quarterback. Split back set, slot to the right side for the Scrappers. Handoff right up the middle. That'll be Lavelle Leaper. Ball's on the ground, and he coughed it up, and now the Leopards will have the football unless they called him down right there, and they may have. They said he was down at the 32-yard line, 31-yard line. Where do we get the spot? Holt made the tackle. And the ball is still going to be in Nashville hands. 8-yard gain by Leaper, and I guess we'll mark it to 32.
Ball moved on upfield to the 35. Looked like it had been recovered there, but as you mentioned, the officials called him down at the 32.
Ball is on the left hash mark. Split backs again. Slot right for the Scrappers. Blake Young, the Scrapper quarterback. Handoff. That'll be DeMarco Piggy. Demetrius Hughes. And it'll be all the way up to the 41-yard line. A first down for the Scrappers. Jones on the tackle for the Lions. Mark at the 42-yard line, I guess it is. And the clock will run. 6:50 now left in the ball game. Checking into the game now for the Scrappers will be number 80, Chris Tollett. And Jack Martin will check wide to the right side. He's going to have trips. Well, Jack Martin checks all the way out of the ball game to the right. Slot right for the Scrappers. Handoff up the middle. That'll be Leaper on the carry to about the 45. Having a little bit of trouble hanging on to the ball, it looked like. And Holt on the stop for the Lions. Bring up second down and about 6 now for the Scrappers. And checking into the ball game now for the Scrappers will be William May. And checking out of the game is Chris Tollett. May will check wide to the right side. In the slot will be number 82, Philip Clark. Split backs once again for the Scrappers. Handoff. That'll be Hughes on the carry. That's Demetric Hughes. And he will move it up to about the 49-yard line where it'll bring up third down. And about 2.5, 3 yards to go. Holt on the stop along with Holloway. Clock running. 5 minutes and 30 seconds now left in the ball game. And checking out wide to the right side will be William May. And it looks like in the slot will be Finley. Handoff up the middle. First down yardage by Leaper. We'll see where they finally marked it. It'd be enough for the first down. A penalty flag, a late flag. That's a dead ball foul. It's going to be a penalty against, let's see. I think it's going to be against the Lions. Yeah, we'll just wait. Let me not speculate. I see one of the players going out of the game for the Lions, and I kind of feel like he might have been the guilty party. That is J.R. Morgan. And Coach Phillips may have jerked him out of the ball game. Dead ball, personal foul, Lions. So tack another 15 yards onto that. And it'll move it all the way inside the 40 or 35-yard line to about the 33. And that's where the Scruffers will have a first down. The Lion 33-yard line with 5 minutes and 19 seconds now left in the ball game. Scruffers leading 50-0 over the Gravette line. Slot goes to the right side. That'll be May, the wide out. And in the slot is Finley. And let's see, Leaper and Hughes, Dimitri Hughes, the setbacks. And Blake Young, the Scrapper sophomore, is your Scrapper quarterback. Ball right in the middle of the field for the Scrappers. And it'll be Blake Young wanting to throw, passed it downfield, incomplete, intended for, let's see who that is, number 44. That is going to be Brandon Rowland. The intended receiver stretched it out, couldn't quite come up with it. Bring up second down and 10 now for the Scrappers at the 33-yard line of the Lions. That'll stop the clock. 5:10 left in the ball game. Well, I can tell you this, it'll be a sellout crowd here at Nashville Stadium next week. The Mina Bearcats coming in. And I can tell you right now, they really believe they got the best team in the state, and they do have a dandy. Leaper on the handoff, left side, across the 30 to about the 29. Coming up to make the stop was Grumman. And let's see, who else was in there on the play? Looked like maybe Hope. Mina defeated Nashville last year. The Scrappers were having a pretty good night, leading, and one of the Scrapper defenders came up with a broken collarbone, and from that moment on, the game changed. And the Bearcats ended up winning that ball game 18-13. Split backs, slot right for the Scrappers. It'll be the toss sweep. That'll be Leaper. Cuts back at the 30 and gets inside the 30. Another flag, and it's going to be another 15 yards on a late hit by the Lions. Oh, my. Well, I'm not sure that one was intentional there. All the way on the stop for the Lions. Well, I can tell you this, a few little things going on tonight out there. A penalty here, a penalty there. Next week, I can tell you this, there will be a lot of talk on the football field. I can promise you that. The Scrappers have got to keep their mind on what they're doing. As I can tell you this, the Bearcats will do their very best to get the Scrappers, get their mind off of the game and get it on wanting to fight. I can promise you that. I know how that goes. And it's happened before, and I can almost assure you it will happen again. You got to keep your head in the ball game and let your talking be on the scoreboard. Slot goes to the left side, handoff. That will be Dimitri Hughes. Breaks the tackle, 10, inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Goes Dimitri Hughes. And that'll be Peterman on the stop for the Lions.
You know, there's something Nashville wants this year, Charles, and they want to play in 3 more football games. And going to be very important. It's going to go through next week, and like you mentioned, several things are going to occur in that ball game, but they're going to have to stay focused on their goal. And believe me, that's what Coach Laird, he wants them to step up in intensity a little bit and mentally thinking about the games a little bit, Charles, but he'll warn them about those things too.
Split backs, handoff, and met right there. Nothing on the play. That's going to be Dimitri Hughes on the carry. And he got nothing. Big tackle that time by Hickman. It'll be third down and about 3 for the Scrappers at the 7-yard line of the Lions. 50-0 in case you just tuned in. But we appreciate all the fans listening up in the Rogers, Fayetteville, Springdale, and of course Gravette.
3 minutes to go, as you mentioned, Nashville leading 50-0, Charles. And yeah, KURM, all the fine listeners through that radio station, we appreciate you tuning in tonight.
Well, we certainly do, and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. There's the toss sweep, and we go to Leapers, touchdown Scrappers. On the toss sweep, good blocking over there on the right side, and Leaper goes in from 7 yards out with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the ball game. And it's a 7-yard run for the score, 56-0 Nashville, awaiting the point after attempt. Now that was done by the second team, folks. That's not the first team out there, so you got to understand that these guys are wanting to play just as bad as the first team, and they're doing their best, and their best was a score. McGill to hold and Stavely to kick. A long count here, and there's a snap over the head again, and Stavely will try to throw it into the end zone. It'll be intercepted, and they'll blow it dead there. Well, I don't know what's happening on the snap, but it snapped over his head, and I don't know, somebody down there on the line must be doing something. And anyhow, score holds 56-0. Scrappers, 2:46 left in the ball game. We'll be back to the Scrapper kickoff in a moment. You're listening to Playoff Football. Well, DeQueen defeated Rivercrest tonight to advance. I told some of the people in the press box tonight, hey, don't be surprised if DeQueen don't win it. They said, you got to be crazy. I said, hey, they can play football over there. And they did, and they won the football game, advancing to the semifinals, or quarterfinals, I guess it is. Here we go. And it's going to be Gibson on the return. He'll get outside, still on his feet, cuts back against the grain, ran into his own man, bounces off of him, and still on his feet all the way to the 30-yard line. That was about a 40-some-yard run to get about 15.
You know, Charles, we were talking earlier tonight, or everybody knew going in, there were several big ball games in these Class AA playoffs, but I've got to say, jot this one down. Get your Thanksgiving dinner. Come on up to Scrapper Stadium next week, because next Friday night, it'll be a big ball game right here in Scrapper Stadium.
Oh, you bet it will be. And I can tell you right now that me and the Bearcats are just chomping at the bits. Got a friend that has a daughter that teaches up there, and she said that's all they can think of is coming to Nashville, because they want to beat Nashville. That's a measuring stick for a lot of people. And here we go, first down from the 30, and McKenzie wants to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Throws it downfield, incomplete, intended for number 20, Gibson. And that is Doyle Gibson, and it goes incomplete. And there's a Lion down and getting up slow, but he is getting up. Well, at the beginning of the game, I certainly wouldn't want to alarm anybody from Gravette, but it looked like there was a little problem with one of the Gravette cheerleaders. I sure don't want to alarm anybody, but I guess that's what I'm doing. It looked like she may have had to go get checked up by, I think they carried her off in the ambulance. I'm not sure, and this is before the game. I'm not sure whether she twisted something or what. But anyway, if you've got a cheerleader down here and you want to know, I guess you could call the school. Long pass downfield. It's complete at the 45-yard line to Adam Vore. And Vore fell down, or he might have gone all the way.
Broke through the secondary wide open, complete, and as you mentioned, he just fell down upon receiving the ball.
All right.
Into Scrapper territory at the 43-yard line.
First down, as you said, at the 43-yard line of Nashville. 2 minutes and 20 seconds now left in the ball game. Scrappers shuffling lots of players in and out. And the Lions up to the line of scrimmage. And McKenzie looks them over. And slots to each side now. McKenzie with a straight drop. Wants to throw. Heavy pressure. Gets out of that. Brandon rolling after him. Can't quite get to him. Breaks another tackle and another tackle. Cuts back against the grain. Got some room. He's going to get outside. Still got room. Jason Nolte has a chance. DeMarco Piggy will finally run him down at about the 11-yard line. Good run by McKenzie. And the Scrappers had put the rush on him, and it was just a scramble by McKenzie, and a good job to pick up the first down all the way down at the Scrapper 11-yard line. 1:46 now left in the ball game. And I thought Marcus Jordan had a chance to sack him, and he got a good job by McKenzie to avoid that. And then Brandon Rowland had a chance, and he chased him for a minute, but McKenzie a little too much speed there, and he got outside, and then he had a little room. And it was just a great job as he cut it back all the way across the field. First down and a 10 for the Gravette Lions at the Scrapper 11. McKenzie wants to throw. Throws it out in the...
By the Scrappers, you know, in the second round of the playoffs. I thought we played awful well. You know, we had a good home crowd, and things kind of went our way out there Friday night.
Well, it was another playoff game that we saw the Scrappers play well, as they are doing in the playoffs.
Well, you know, I think we've kind of stepped it up a notch, you know, from the regular season, the end of the regular season, you know, and we've talked about this before, that, you know, these young men, they know what's in store for them. They know the consequences if they don't play good, and so we're getting real good play out of our entire football team, offense, defense, special teams. You know, a lot of kids that we don't have a chance to mention, some of those younger kids that don't play a lot. Of course, they've got in the last couple of weeks, but they do a tremendous job.